Hello, Facebook. I am coming live today. I'm going to get my live in and my run today. If you saw my post from yesterday. So I just wanted to pop on here and share my favorite place to look for new VAs. So if you're ready to hire and you need a VA or you need a social media manager or project manager, the best place to look. So if you're hopping on live, say hello so I can see you. Sometimes I can see who's joining and sometimes it doesn't pop up. So say hi. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know so I can make sure and catch your questions later. Hey Taylor, hey Abigail. Woo, awesome. So I know a lot of people who are at the stage where you know you need to hire, you know you're ready. Maybe you've even had a couple interviews, but they haven't gone so well. And you're just like frustrated. Like, where do you look? How do you actually find a good one? And I have a couple things. Yay, Taylor, curious about this. I love it. So my first recommendation, very first place to look is in your tribe, in your audience already. The people who are already following you, who already know your message, who are already obsessed with you and your content, they're going to be the ones who are so in love to work with you and like eager and just like you want a VA. Hey Megan, hey Rebecca, hey Kira. You want a VA and a team member who is excited to work with you, and you're not just like one of the many and all of that. So I know I've always hired from people who are already in my tribe, or those were my favorite hires where I've hired outside of my tribe before, and they're not always my favorite. Just it doesn't always work out the same. And yay, so we have a few more people hopping on. So that's my first recommendation. Post on your Facebook, post on your Instagram, let your people know that you are hiring. Let them know who you're looking for. Let them know I have some templates for job postings. So if you're curious about that, I'd be happy to send those to you. Just comment below and put job template. I can send those over to you, but that's the first place. Not only will you find people who like you would be their dream client, but again, they already get your message. I know my social media manager, she already knew my voice and she already knew a lot of my story because she had been following me and she'd already been in my world. So that's number one. And you'll also get referrals that way, which is number two. Referrals are like the best. So if you're posting on your pages, you'll get people who are applying, but then you'll also get people who are tagging like, ooh, Rebecca, you would be perfect for this, and like tagging people. And that's so valuable because what I've seen happen a lot is like I'll be scrolling through comments like that and someone will tag Rebecca. And then like 3 other people will chime in and be like, yes, Rebecca's awesome. Rebecca's great. And you're just like, oh, okay. I gotta see what Rebecca's about. So you just find higher quality people who you know have a track record and who you know are awesome. Like I saw someone post in a group the other day and they were like, I've interviewed 3 people and none of them worked out. One of them lied about her experience. One of them never sent me job postings or like not job postings, samples of her work. And then I forget what the third one, but there's like 3 people and they were all just like terrible experience. And that's so disheartening when you're like, I'm ready, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm Googling how to interview people and then it doesn't work out. Like that sucks. So when you find someone who's a referral, you can even ask your friends. If you're an entrepreneur, you have other entrepreneur friends. If you're a coach, you know other coaches. Like reach out to your network, ask, hey, do you have a VA that you love? Do you know of any VAs that are awesome that you've worked with before that you recommend? That's how, when I was a VA, that's how I found like almost all of my clients was through referrals. And it worked out so great on both ends because the trust was already there. I trusted them, they trusted me. And it was just such an easier process when you have someone you trust who's vouching for them. So it's part of the reason why I love making connections so much. I love connecting entrepreneurs to VAs because I put so much thought into it. Like, I'm not just like, oh, you need someone who can do WordPress. She can do WordPress. I'm like, okay, especially like the more I know you, the entrepreneur, I'm like, okay, I know your vibe, I know your personality, I know like who you're looking for, and you would be like soul sisters with this person. And it just makes the process for everyone so much faster and so much more enjoyable. Ugh, so good. And then the third place, if you don't find anyone from your current tribe, if you don't, or even your email list, I don't think I mentioned that before. If you don't find someone from your current tribe, my next place I recommend looking is Facebook groups. And this is one where it can get, you can find like a little bit of a wild card sometimes, because some of these groups for VAs and for job postings are so big. So big. And like there's like tens of thousands of people in them, which is great because you have this pool of, again, like eager people, but it's also, that's where you really have to step in and have a good vetting process, have a good like interview process where you're having like qualifying them before you get on the phone with them. Because sometimes you'll post in these groups and you'll get over 100 comments of people who are like, here's my website, I can do this, like I'm interested, I'm here for you, blah, blah, blah. Like 100 people. You're not gonna get on the phone with 100 people. Like, that's crazy. So what I love to teach in my one-on-one coaching and in my 6-week program is how to sift through those people, how to vet them, how to qualify them, so that you're only getting on the phone with people who you're pretty sure would be a really good fit. And then you're just kind of testing for culture fit and doing like a final check-in with a handful of people with this interview. So those are really, not only are those like the best places to look, those are the only places I recommend looking. I haven't had good experiences hiring from like VA services, whether that's, and this is just me, I know some of them out there are great, whether that's like a VA agency or whether that's, I know there's multiple services that they come in, and it sounds really appealing. I was just talking to someone about this today, where they do the hiring for you, and a lot of times these are like agencies in the Philippines or overseas, and they like interview and hire for you, and then of course you train them and onboard them. But it sounds really appealing, but I've never had a good experience with that, and I personally want someone who's like primarily English speaking. I don't really care if they're in the US or not, which is where I'm located. Only one of my team members is in the US. I have one who lives in Australia, 2 who live in Canada. Time zones don't matter to me, but for some people they do matter, and it is important. And like some clients I've worked with, time zone was really important, and it was really tricky when their VA, when they were overseas, because it was 12-hour difference. Like we were asleep, they were awake, and we can never really get in touch with them. So those are my favorite places to look. And then if you start looking at like job posting places like Indeed or LinkedIn or even Upwork. Upwork's a whole other thing, but it just tends to be, in my experience, people who just like don't get it as much. Like if you find someone on Facebook or Instagram, they get it most of the time. And if you find someone like on Indeed or Craigslist or something, Craigslist, I didn't mean to say Craigslist, I meant to say LinkedIn. Don't look on Craigslist. Although I know people who've hired personal assistants on Craigslist, so anything works, but it's just not great. And then Upwork, I know this is such a hot spot where people, it's what you've heard of, so you go look at Upwork. But you don't get to form as intimate of relationships with them usually, because you have to stay in the Upwork platform. And for VA and like project manager work, it just doesn't make sense. If you're looking for like graphic design or like writing or like project-based work, I think Upwork's fine. But if you're looking for someone to like join your team and be your right hand and like just be there in it with you, Upwork is not the place. Just not the place. So let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if you have any questions, if this is helpful. I'm curious. Like I said, I can send you, if you want I have some like job posting templates. I can link, if you guys want me to link to some of my favorite Facebook groups to look, because you're not just going to post in any group. You're not just going to go to like a random Facebook group and post for a VA. Like there are certain ones that are really good and that have a lot of VAs in them who are highly qualified, or social media managers or project managers, OBMs, whatever you're looking for. So let me know. I can comment. I can put those in the comments, or if you send me a message, would be happy to send them to you there. And I want to share, like I mentioned earlier, I do have spaces open in my one-on-one program right now, but what I'm really excited about is launching my 6-week condensed version of that. So we'll be starting next month, and the one-on-one is for people a lot of times who maybe you already have a team member, you already have like a 6-figure plus business, and you're like, I need help like figuring out all these holes in my business. And this 6-week course that we're starting next month is, if you're a solopreneur, you're brand new, you have a program, you have things running, you have things set up, and you just need a VA. You just need like a right hand social media manager, a VA, all of those things like wrapped into one. You just need like someone to keep you sane and to keep you on track. And yeah, I mean, some people who I've been talking to about this, they are new to business. They maybe just started this year. And there are people who have been in business for like 4 to 5 years, and they're just bringing it online. And it's just finally catching up with you, where you're like, I have a program, doing coaching. I'm successful. Like my program works. My testimonials are awesome. My clients love me, but I am overworked. I am overwhelmed. Maybe you're in a mastermind or a program and you're like, I'm getting all these strategies, but I need help implementing them. Like, this is for you. So comment below if you want more info on that. Like I said, we'll be starting next month, and 6 weeks, I can share all the details. I'll do a separate video on that. I just wanted to share that at the end here. So if you have any questions on where to look for a VA, comment. And if you have any questions on the 6-week program, comment below too. And I'm so excited to support you guys through this. This is such a need that I'm seeing right now. There's this like influx of amazing light leading solopreneurs who are doing amazing work and need equally amazing VAs. You don't just want any VA. You want a unicorn soulmate, like obsessed. Like you're obsessed VA, like that's what you need. And I have plenty of those. I see some of them watching right now. I have plenty of those in my network, and I'm just so looking forward to connecting amazing VAs with amazing entrepreneurs, helping you hire them, helping you train them. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yay.